Hey.
After winning a contest, Caleb goes to a reclusive billionaire's home to test a living AI. Immediately, the film ties its lead character to us. We don't know anything about him, but since he doesn't really know what's happening either, he becomes us for all intents and purposes. We, like him, wonder why he's there, and what he'll be doing, and how an AI that is clearly a robot will pass a Turing test. What is a Turing test, you might ask?
It's when a human interacts with a computer. And if the human doesn't know they're interacting with a computer, the test is passed.
But beyond being an audience surrogate, Caleb is incredibly relatable too. He is socially awkward and seemingly can't come up with anything to say that isn't a quote from someone else.
I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. It's not my quote. It's what Oppenheimer said after he made the atomic bomb.
Yeah, I know what it is, dude.
Making it painfully clear that he wants to be liked.
The single best thing you could do to get your life in order and be attracted to chicks is to get in shape and become an alpha male like me.
Never pushing Nathan or saying his true feelings or opinion out of fear that he'll ruin his relationship with him, which seriously pisses off Nathan more than a few times.
Through the looking glass.
Through the looking glass, wow.
These interactions with Nathan, this Steve Jobs rich boy type, are easily the most fun parts of the film. But if we look at this relationship he has with Caleb, we can see his character and motivation crystal clear, which is highlighted in his very first scene.
When I have a heavy night, I compensate the next morning. Exercise, antioxidants.
There wasn't a party. Sorry.
Caleb, I'm just gonna throw this out there so it's said, okay? You're freaked out.
He's compensating for his destructive alcoholism, which we see throughout the film. He skips the small talk and bluntly tries to get to know Caleb.
Dude, can we just get past that? Can we just be two guys? Nathan and Caleb?
It's a little off-putting considering his warm demeanor but cold attitude, immediately setting Caleb and us on edge. Being rich, smart, and reclusive has made Nathan a little strange to the everyday person just trying to make it in this nightmarish world. And because of his strangeness, we, like Caleb, don't trust him.
Did you program her to like me or not?
I programmed her to be heterosexual.
The compelling part is, Caleb and Nathan are two very different people, and yet they have genuine interactions, for better or worse. Nathan wants things quick and to the point, not caring how blunt or harmful he comes across.
Nobody programmed me to be straight.
You decided to be straight? Please, of course you were programmed. By nature or nurture or both. And to be honest, Caleb, you're starting to annoy me now because this is your insecurity talk.
Even making a mockery of Caleb's unease by literally hitting an emote on him.
You tore up her picture.
I'm gonna tear up the fucking dance floor, dude. Check it out.
Come on, Caleb!
Cementing why Caleb and the audience mistrust him. He's a dick. How could you trust him? But then he meets Ava, who understands none of what he is or how they should act socially, defying the norms that dictate this motivation to be liked. But if you thought Caleb and Nathan were contrasting, just see how Caleb and Ava talk.
Ava.
I'm pleased to meet you, Ava.
I'm pleased to meet you too.
There's barely any contrast at all. During the conversations with them, the film feels strangely at peace. They talk casually and flirt like awkward coworkers. I mean, they even play get-to-know-you games.
Question 1. What's your favorite color?
Red.
It's shallow in the same way that the first day of school feels, emphasizing the feeling of a blossoming relationship. In fact, Caleb gets so attached to her that he wants to help her escape her prison, and we're all on board.
Question 5. Do you want to be with me?
Like him, we want to help this damsel in distress escape the clutches of an emotionless tyrant, whatever it takes. And who knows, Caleb might even get to have her all to himself once he's out. This idea speaks to Caleb's character and the role he plays as the audience surrogate. Our ideals and ambitions are as one. We want him to do everything we think we would do in that situation. So when he's kind and warm to her, and she reciprocates that warmth, we naturally like both of them and want to see them win.
I'd like us to go on a date.
Yep. Yep. It'd be fun.
It's fun and intimate in a way where that robotic shell Ava lives in melts away into a real person we like and understand, which is all shown visually, as each session with her slowly shows her becoming more human. She's totally exposed in the first session, just as they both are to each other, not knowing who or what each other are and why they're there. But as they become more familiar, she starts wearing clothes, covering her robotic body to point to her relationship with Caleb becoming more lifelike. By the end, we barely even consider that she's an AI. She's just a girl trapped in a cage of an oppressive billionaire.
So let's bust her out. Nothing bad could happen, right? Oh.
She kills Nathan and leaves Caleb locked in a bulletproof room to die.
But wait, why would she do that, we ask? He was kind to her and orchestrated the entire breakout attempt, and then she just left him there to die? This is where things get difficult.
Up until this point, Caleb is our guy.
He's our guy.
But now we learn some valuable things about him.
No family.
With a moral compass.
No girlfriend. Did you design Ava's face based on my pornography profile?
No girlfriend, no family, and a pornography addiction that Nathan exploits. Suddenly, he's not so relatable anymore. He's kind of sad, pathetic even. This reveal completely recontextualizes this character. This also makes us reconsider his motivation for helping Ava get out. Is he helping her escape because he truly feels bad for her and wants to do the right thing, or does he just want her out for selfish reasons? But what about Ava? What do we actually know about her?
When I was in college, I did a semester on AI theory.
This is where assuming really does make an ass out of you and me. Until now, all of our assumptions have come true.
We assume that Caleb is going to fall for Ava because we kind of do too, and our assumptions are correct, just as they are throughout the entire film. The hardest part of the film, though, is that we assume we know this girl because she made some goo-goo eyes at our favorite lead character. But we don't know her. She's been carefully leading Caleb and us down a path where she gets what she wants, and every loose thread is tied up. The film is having us Turing test this AI just as Caleb is. We assume that she'll repay the favor when Caleb helps her escape because we assume that she actually likes him.
I want to be with you.
Gotcha, bitch!
But everything we assumed about Ava is wrong.
This is cute.
Is it strange to have made something that hates you?
If we look at the week of time spent at this compound with Ava, what did we actually learn about her? There was only one session per day, which couldn't lead into any deep conversations with her. Yet Caleb and the audience, to some extent, are attached to her.
Is Nathan your friend?
My friend? Yeah, I hope so.
A good friend?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, not a good friend. A good friend is, we only just met each other.
So if Caleb and Nathan aren't real friends, then how could Caleb and Ava be friends? They interact much less than Caleb and Nathan, and every time they have, there's a giant glass wall separating them, highlighting their literal and figurative separation. They've only known each other for a week and are interacting in a fish tank, yet the audience and Caleb think they have something together. We think we know her, despite only knowing her for such a limited amount of time. However, the only things we truly know about her is that she can draw, her name is Ava, and that she's 1.
Would you like to know how old I am?
Sure.
I'm 1.
1 what? 1 year or 1 day?
1.
If we really scrutinize these hollow interactions between her and Caleb, they are incredibly lopsided.
Our conversations are one-sided. I'd like us to go on a date. What will happen to me if I fail your test? I want to be with you. Are you attracted to me?
What?
Are you attracted to me? Do you want to be with me?
She's doing all the questioning, learning about him and the ways to manipulate him while he answers, blissfully unaware that everything he knows about her has been carefully manicured to manipulate him and the audience.
I'm wondering if you're watching me on the cameras. And I hope you are.
The challenge is not to act automatically. It's to find an action that is not automatic, from painting to breathing to talking.
Here we find the answer to the question the film is asking.
I figured you were probably watching us during the power cuts.
If Caleb didn't assume things about Ava, he could have had stimulating conversations with something only one person on Earth had experienced, but he assumed she liked him and it got him locked in a box.
Will you stay here?
It's in our DNA to assume things, and most of the time we're right. Just like if I dropped this Lego, I assume it would break, unless it was super glued together. Just like this glued Lego set breaking your assumption of what will happen to it, the entire film is about human nature and assumptions. It tests our moral compass as well as our assumptions of how things will be. You can't always be right or do the right thing. Communicating and understanding the situation you are in is the only way to make intelligent choices. But when your head is clouded by assumptions of how things could go and the magician's hot assistant, you frequently don't make intelligent decisions.
You were right about the magician's hot assistant.
What are you talking about?
Misdirection.
I know it sounds cliche, but never assume you know people or what's going to happen. If you do, you might find yourself stuck in a box. Ding! If I dropped this Lego, I assume it would break. And it did.